If you want to see the model of consistency, a school and a team that always have a way of being consistent and doing things the right way and seen some sort of success, look no further than the Oklahoma Sooners, especially when it comes to the NFL draft. Now, granted, the Sooners streak, which was the longest in college football of having a minimum of 4 players drafted every single year since like mid 2000s, that streak is broken, but another streak is alive. Actually, 2 big streaks. One that leads them in the nation, and the second one puts them in the top 3 in the country of teams doing this. And it's very hard to consistently do that. We got to talk about some of the streaks, some of the things where Oklahoma is putting themselves out there as the top team in the nation. And this should get you excited, especially going into recruiting trails. This is ammunition in conversations when it comes to why Oklahoma. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. All right, we're going to pull this up right now because I want y'all to see this. We're not going to bury the lead. You got to see that Oklahoma, in one of the streaks where they are the tops in the country, is they have the most offensive tackles drafted since 2015. I mean, it's Darrell Williams, Tyrus Thompson, Orlando Brown, Cody Ford, Bobby Evans, Anton Harrison, Wanye Morris, Tyler Guyton, and Walter Rouse. That's the most, right? That is all in the Beatonbow era because he's been here since 11 years. And yeah, he's put in the most offensive tackles in the draft. So y'all may be asking the question, Jay, I mean, he's doing all of this. Why can't he get, these elite 5-star offensive linemen to come to Oklahoma? I'll be honest, I don't know. I can't answer that question. It appears, in my personal opinion, that a lot of these players Beatonbow wants, but prefers certain guys that he can mold that are very, very teachable. I'm not saying these guys are not teachable. I'm not saying these guys don't want to work hard or, do big things, but it appears that is really the big thing for Beatonbow is there's a certain type of player he likes. He likes versatility. And I've even heard some NFL guys mention that they like the versatility that the players from Oklahoma come in. I know Andy Reid mentioned that, and he's mentioned Beatonbow by name. NFL guys know him. NFL guys also know Schmitty. So you've got Schmitty back, and I think that's where you're seeing a lot of the bigger growth from especially the current guys like a Tyler Guyton, right? A Walter Rouse came here because he knew he'd be developed. And it comes because you have a strength coach that is infamous for getting the most out of guys and getting them into the shape that's going to prep them for the NFL. Now, when I see this is O-line U, right? Like in the votings and stuff, Oklahoma's considered QBU. This is what moves Oklahoma up the line for being considered for O-line U is really that. I mean, having the most tackles since 2015, I mean, that's 9 years straight, having the most tackles drafted. That's pretty freaking huge, especially, having, that type of a streak. Oklahoma's consistent on it, right? That's the one thing that we're trying to do is make sure that we get at least an offensive lineman, especially a tackle drafted every single draft. That way, when people ask questions about what Oklahoma's doing, we can say, well, we keep getting dudes drafted. And the question is, how do they do when they get to the NFL? Man, Beatonbow's beating bags. A lot of the guys that he has coached up getting fat checks in the NFL. And that's just what it is, right? Orlando Brown was laughed at because how many bench press he did. Now the dude's out there, one of the highest paid offensive tackles because he had the skills, you just had to get there, right? That's what you got at Oklahoma, right? That's the excitement. So 9 years, killing that. Another one, though, that Oklahoma is up there in and what they're battling for is this. Consecutive drafts with a minimum of 3 people drafted. That is now at 22 straight drafts. Just above Alabama at 16, which Bama started to do that again when Saban got there. That's when they go. But we've had this. This is from the Bob Stoops era into the Riley regime, now into the Brent Venables era. Minimum 3 dudes drafted. I mean, only people above us is Ohio State and LSU, in which LSU definitely is going to be up there because it's LSU. And Ohio State, they've been a model of consistency since the mid-2000s, right? Ain't that crazy? Ain't that wild? That Oklahoma has 22 consecutive years of at least 3 dudes drafted. I mean, we held the streak for more when it came to 4 players drafted. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep that going this year. We didn't have enough guys drafted. We were close, but we didn't get 4 guys drafted this year, mainly because the guys that we knew were definitely going to get drafted, 2 of them are still on the team, and Willie Washington as well as Danny Stutzman. But that's huge. This is a huge talking point when it comes to recruits is we're getting dudes drafted on a regular basis. One of 3 teams in college football that has over 20 years of consecutive guys, 3 minimum guys getting drafted. Like a model of consistency. And the beauty is, it don't matter the coach, right? Started with Stoops. Stoops started to build this bad boy up. And everything ever since Bob Stoops came through here has continued to flourish. And this is what we're seeing. This is that model of consistency that Oklahoma is trying to show going forward. This is something that's record breaking. This is something that's huge. And yeah, if there's a conversation to be had about players getting drafted and what Oklahoma's done, this is a conversation. I know our rivals down south are really talking up about what they've done or whatnot, how they had a good draft this year. It's good for them. Usually teams would have that many players drafted in one draft suck the next year. It's been pretty consistent. And so the expectation is definitely that. But I just wanted to point this out. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. How you feeling about Oklahoma in the draft? We talked about it on the show, but I wanted to give y'all some of these numbers because these are some dope stuff and great stuff for Sooner fans to be proud of. Y'all should take advantage of it. You made this far, you like the content, please hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Love for y'all to join this family of college football fans, talking OU football, SEC football, and college football in general. Having a blast doing it as well. We're going to make sure I got something to talk about. There's going to be money happening as the NCAA is looking to settle their grievances with players soon. That video's coming out probably in the next day. And we'll talk soon. Peace.